Tonight, murder indictments in the Howard Beach racial attacks. Emotional rescue from beneath a collapsed building. A phony doctor who claims he cures AIDS is busted. And at the Top Gun school, we'll take you up to the stratosphere.
We tumble. The blood rushes to my head. My body is 3 times its normal weight under the force of gravity. The skin pressing into my cheekbone. It's better than the best roller coaster ride.
This is INN, the independent news on Channel 11 with Brad Holbrook and Donna Hanover.
Good evening. Tonight there are new charges in a crime that shocked the city. Charges of murder, attempted murder, and manslaughter.
12 teenagers are under indictment tonight for their roles in the Howard Beach racial attack last December. Colleen Hunt has more on what a judge today called an American tragedy.
A month after Special State Prosecutor Charles Hines took over the Howard Beach case, a grand jury has handed up indictments against 12 teenagers. They're accused of taking part in the chase that sent Michael Griffith on a fatal run in front of a car and an attack on his 2 black companions. 3 second-degree murder charges have been handed up, 4 attempted murder, and 5 manslaughter charges. There are also many lesser charges, such as assault and rioting. 3 of the accused, John Lester, Scott Kern, and Jason Ladone, had previously been charged with reckless endangerment. 9 other teenagers were ordered to turn themselves into police this morning. Of the 3 teens originally charged in the case, Lester and Kern are now also charged with second-degree murder, attempted murder, manslaughter, and several lesser charges. Jason Ladone is charged with manslaughter and attempted murder. Another teen, previously unknown to the public, Robert Riley, today was also charged with murder, attempted murder, and other crimes. He is the youth that Special Prosecutor Charles Hines got to testify against the others. Even though Riley is charged with some of the most serious crimes, he was released with no bail in return for his cooperation. None of the other teens was released without bail, which ranged up to $50,000. Lester and Kern are being held without bail. Defense attorneys say they and their clients were amazed by the severity of the charges.
He was very upset. He's a 16-year-old young man. These are very, very serious charges. Second most serious in the whole penal law. Attempted murder. He expected far less. When he first was apprehended by the police advised him that at most he'd be facing no more than simple assault charges.
I am shocked at the indictment, and my client is also.
Defense attorneys pointed to the hardship this case has brought on the families of the accused. But Judge Alfred Lerner said it has brought more hardship on the victims. He called the death of Michael Griffith an American tragedy. Special Prosecutor Charles Hines says it's important to remember that this is an indictment of 12 individuals, not a community. In fact, he says it's so important to remember the difference between the 12 kids and Howard Beach as a whole that he hasn't even mentioned the words Howard Beach in this indictment.
This kind of thing could happen all over the world. Indeed it does, and it has, where people distrust or hate other people because of an accident of birth.
The trials of the accused teenagers are set to begin in early March. In Queens, this is Colleen Hunt reporting.
A noted child psychologist says baby M should be given to her biological father, William Stern. Taking the witness stand today in this landmark custody case, Dr. Lee Salk of Cornell Medical Center said surrogate mother Mary Beth Whitehead suffers from personality disorders and should not be allowed to raise the child or even have visitation rights. An expert witness hired by the Sterns, Salk says he based his judgment on the reports of a psychiatrist, psychologist, and social worker.
Seems to be evidence that Mrs. Whitehead has a kind of a lack of feeling of importance, kind of a lack of self-esteem, and that she needs to be important to someone. In many ways, that motivated her to seek being a surrogate, in an attempt to really, in a sense, restitute that feeling of loss, that feeling of you don't feel important in people's lives. And she has indeed made this an important issue, a cause célèbre, if you want to put it that way.
Under cross-examination by Mrs. Whitehead's attorney, it was brought out that Salk had been in a custody dispute himself that resulted in his being granted custody of his children. The judge agreed that Salk's personal experience could lead to bias in his testimony. Brad?
There are reports tonight that a secret deal may be in the works to free the 3 Americans and the Indian being held hostage in Beirut. According to radio reports in Lebanon, the Red Cross might be arranging a swap. Israel would release 400 Palestinian prisoners. In turn, the 4 hostages and a captured Israeli airman would be freed. So far, there's been no confirmation of these reports. One other hostage has won his freedom, though. Lebanese-American businessman Jack Sikely was released unharmed today after his family paid a sizable ransom. cycle had been held for 4 days by Muslim extremists.
Police sources say former presidential advisor Robert Mc Farland was trying to commit suicide. Yesterday, Mc Farland was rushed to the hospital after swallowing about 25 Valium pills. There are also reports that Mc Farland's family found a suicide note. Mc Farland, a key figure in the Iran-Contra scandal, has testified that President Reagan approved the sale of arms to Iran. He is listed in good condition tonight at Bethesda Naval Hospital.
And when we come back, one of TV's Cosby kids is starring in an X-rated movie.
The country's top health official says TV networks should run condom ads.
And the state nabs a phony doctor who makes an astonishing claim.
Can you cure AIDS?
I have cured AIDS many times, sir, and I can cure AIDS again and again.